Hi, hello, good evening everyone. Welcome back to the series called as Fundamentals of Economy in just 30 minutes. So in today's class, another interesting topic that we have chosen to discuss is under fiscal policy. So for the past 2 days, we have been doing topics related to fiscal policy. So today again, the most important terms associated with the fiscal policy will be discussed. One is fiscal consolidation, next is FRBM Act, that is Fiscal Responsibility Budget Management Act, then what is fiscal discipline and what is fiscal stimulus. These four concepts are indeed very important to be known. Apart from the static or the theoretical perspective, they are much more seen in the current affairs perspective of economy based on fiscal policy. So now, in yesterday's class, I taught you regarding the three types of funds of central government, like the contingency fund, then the consolidated fund of India, and also public account. And you can see that they are not coming under any so-called theoretical concept as such. Basically, in the context of current affairs, you'll be studying them. But for the prelims examination of UPSC, you can see many questions over the years have come from those topics. Similarly, the same thing is done in today's class also. Under fiscal policy, these topics you can find in the current affairs perspective. So what we do is we'll be having a quick look into the concepts of that and then connecting them with current affairs. So you get to know how to study and why you study these things. Okay. So this is indeed very important topic of discussion. And now, as you all know, this is Nisha Najumuddin, your Edu Academy, an expert in economy, current affairs and MCQs. To have a look into the schedule of my classes that is happening in an academy, you can just refer the slide. Every day 7 to 7:30 you have this fundamentals video, and 8 to 8:10 p.m. just for 10 minutes. A new series have started in the same YouTube channel. It is called as Economy Booster Sessions. Okay, all the trending economy topics will be covered in just less than 10 minutes by me. The topics will be very interesting as such. The static plus the current affairs quickly in just less than 10 minutes will be doing it. So don't miss this class as such. Clear? The timing is 8 p.m. on a daily basis. And apart from that, in the Unacademy platform, I am doing a free class, that is special class and plus class. You can just see the description of this particular video. Towards the end, my profile will be given, Unacademy profile. Click the link, you'll get the details. Daily 6 to 7 p.m. top 1000 MCQ series. UPSC level standard questions are discussed with a 360-degree coverage. It's a very important hit list course. And plus courses, NCERT batches, then MCQ course on current affairs with the proper explanations, then comprehensive course on economy. A lot of courses are going on. So you can avail that course as well. For that simple logic, Nisha IAS Live is the code you have to use. Just keep this in mind and make sure that you're utilizing the best out of it. Okay. Free class or plus class, one code, Nisha IAS Live. It will take you to free class also, and with regard to plus, you will get a lot of discounts in addition to the discount that Unacademy is giving you. Okay. So don't miss it. Any doubts, queries, whatever you have, feel free to get in touch with me via Telegram. Nisha Najumuddin for UPSC. Clear? So now, without wasting much of time, let's quickly have a look into the important topics of the day. Here we go. Fiscal consolidation. So what is fiscal consolidation? Come on. It is again associated with the so-called fiscal deficit. What is fiscal deficit? As I told you in the previous classes, when the public revenue is falling short of public expenditure. So now that time the government takes few measures to improve the fiscal deficit, and that comes under the process called as fiscal consolidation. In simple terms, a conscious policy effort which is needed by the government to live within the means or revenue they get and thereby to bring down the fiscal deficit and public debt. That's called as fiscal consolidation. So basically in fiscal consolidation, what the government does is they want to increase revenue, okay, and bring down all the expenditure. Expenditure in the context, not every necessary expenditure, the wasteful expenditure. You got the point. So let's say for example, wasteful means giving too much of subsidies is an extra burden for the government. So when they are able to balance that and align them properly, then that is called as fiscal consolidation in simple terms. There are a lot of benefits, of a moderate fiscal there are a lot of benefits why you should go for such kind of fiscal consolidation as a whole. Slow and steady, I'll be telling you why it is. Now, through the so-called fiscal consolidation, if you see, the government tries for what all. One is improvement in revenue receipt. Second is better alignment of the public expenditure in the three types of central government fund, which I taught you yesterday. Consolidated fund, contingency fund, public accounts of India. Remember yesterday I taught you, they are also the important hit list topics, so don't miss out. Okay, many questions in the prelims have come from this area, we have discussed yesterday. So the same thing is connected in the context of fiscal consolidation also. All these are related topics. So that is why I'm teaching in a proper connection. First we studied the fund, because today when you study about fiscal consolidation, you can see I am mentioning regarding the three type of central government fund here. So the moment you see that, already we have covered this, so you're able to connect them properly. Otherwise you will not know what are these funds, why is this fund used, so you'll be again confused. So to avoid all those confusions only, in a very structured manner, I am aligning this particular courses on a daily basis. Clear? So study like this instead of studying from here and there. So now, talking about the fiscal consolidation in our country, India. If you see in the early 90s, okay, whatever gains from the economic reform that is introduced, it couldn't be sustained for a longer time. We all know that, right? Talking about the combined fiscal deficit, both from the central and state government, almost in the year 2000, they reached the levels of 91. Then suddenly we had a massive financial crisis and all. And you know that the sustainability of debt, that was also a big issue. Now, in this kind of perspective, what did the government do? They thought that as a fiscal consolidation measure to increase the revenue and to balance the expenditure of the government, something is required. So that time Atal Bihari Vajpayee government was there. So they introduced something called as FRBM bill, that is Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Bill in the parliament. Because it is very important that an institutional support is required in the form of fiscal rules. So automatically it will help in what? Setting the future, setting the agenda for the future fiscal consolidation program. That is how FRBM bill was put up. And if you see, having a fiscal deficit is not a good thing. We all know that, right? It should be in a balance. If you see the current affairs perspective is that every year in the budget they say, okay, the ceiling or the limit of fiscal deficit, it should be how much? 3%. In the current year 2021, because of the pandemic, they have increased to 1%. So totally it is 4% now. We know all these things, right? So now, when there is too much of deficit means it causes a lot of issues for the economy as a whole, because no income means how will you carry forward the expenditure activity? So it's always better to keep the fiscal deficit in a proper ceiling or limit. Because too much of borrowing means what? Again, the government is having a lot of liability added up, which shouldn't be encouraged at all. You got the point. So now this is how, guys, the FRBM Act was put up. It is one of the measure under the fiscal consolidation perspective. See, fiscal deficit, fiscal consolidation, FRBM, all these topics are connected. Only if you know what is fiscal deficit, you can study what is fiscal consolidation. And only if you know what is this consolidation, you can study FRBM. Because you can see like a chain, they're connected. Clear? So now, talking about the fiscal consolidation. Thus, I can tell you that the revenue and expenditure measures which are planned by the government to achieve the fiscal consolidation of measures are as follow. One is a better targeting of the government subsidies. That is a very good thing. Instead of giving too much of subsidies, you can plan it properly to avoid the unnecessary expenditures, and also extending the DBT, direct benefit transfer scheme. Take care. Then improving a lot of efficiency with regard to administration of taxation system by eliminating evasion of tax. Then increasing the tax compliance and also reducing tax avoidance. For that also you need proper measures, the fiscal measures, which comes under fiscal consolidation. Only then revenue can be increased and you can prevent what? Fiscal deficit. Now, if you want growth to take place, obviously the government should get more revenue in the form of taxation, right? So now through the proper measures put up under the fiscal consolidation, fiscal deficit and all, automatically you will be able to enhance tax GDP ratio, you will be able to enhance economic growth, thereby the government can function properly. Clear? But then you know something, just by getting more revenue doesn't mean that you can tax the people more. At the same time, you cannot reduce the expenditure of government just like that. There are so many limitations as such for reducing government expenditure, because we are a developing economy. We have to cater to the needs of entire population, be it rich or poor, and most importantly poor people. So we can't say chalo we can do only so and so expenditure. I mean the government. You got the point. So there are some perspectives like that as well. Now, talking about the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act of 2003. So initially in the year 2000 only this was passed as a part of the fiscal consolidation. So in the year 2003, if you see, literally the so-called bill has become an act. So in the parliament in the year 2000 it was introduced as one of the fiscal consolidation measure, and in the year 2003 they got completely passed, and this bill became an act called as FRBM Act today. So what are they? Very simple. It is an act of the parliament. What? The Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. Okay. What do they do is, under this, they'll set the targets for the central government to establish a good financial discipline, which means a proper balance. So we'll be able to have a better management of the public funds and strengthen what? The fiscal prudence and reduce the fiscal deficit. That's indeed very important. So basically for this particular perspective only, the FRBM Act of 2003 was put up. Clear? Now, do you think it is important, guys, FRBM? Absolutely, this act has made it mandatory or compulsory for the government to place the following along with the union budget documents in the parliament every year. It is very important. One is the fiscal policy strategy statement. What are we going to do with regard to the taxation, with regard to increasing or decreasing taxation, abolishing taxation, or whatever it is. Then medium term fiscal policy statement and macroeconomic framework statement, how it is going to function for the next 1 year. So all these things have to be submitted. Only then you'll be able to manage what? The fiscal policies also properly. and that's been done with regard to the FRBM Act. Now let's have a quick look into the current affairs perspective. So since we know what is FRBM Act, it's important for us to know the current affairs perspective of it, right? Yes. And now, talking about the latest changes of the current affairs perspective of the FRBM Act in the Union Budget of 2021 is the target fiscal deficit was at 6.8% of GDP in 2021-22. And if you see in the current year 21-22, the total expenditure proposed by the government was, you can just see it, 34 lakh crore it is. And wherein 123 percentage change is seen in the expenditure allocated for the so-called Jal Jeevan Mission. Again, one of the most important topic connected to water, guys, and also the rural perspective. In your PIB, this particular topic you can study, because many MCQs based on Jal Jeevan Mission for providing tap line connections for the rural India we have discussed. It's a hit list topic. Okay, please go through that. At the same time, if you see as far as FRBM Act, guys, latest change with regard to FRBM Act, if you see again, with regard to the women perspective, in the budget you can see that for the welfare of women, again the budget allocation has seen a drop of 26% compared to the revised estimates of the previous year. And and if you can see with regard to the welfare of scheduled caste people and scheduled tribe people, the weaker sections, again you could see a 52.7% increase in allocation. And basically for the northeastern region where you require more of attention, again the allocation was increased by 32.7%. So there have been improvements, and some of the other area there have been some decrease as such. Take care. But overall they have been doing in a better way, I can say. You can just go through. This data is taken from the PRS. That is the deficit as a percent of GDP. Actual revised budget you can just go through. You have the fiscal deficit and revenue deficit. Just for you to know, I gave you this. Now, so that much is enough regarding the FRBM Act. Now, since we did what is fiscal consolidation and what is FRBM Act, it is now high time for us to have a look into what is fiscal stimulus or fiscal discipline, I can tell you. So let's discuss what is fiscal discipline initially. What is discipline, guys? When something is maintained properly with the proper stability, right? So now fiscal discipline means the same thing. It refers to state of an ideal balance, when things are in a proper balance or in the kind of stability between what the two factors, income or revenue and expenditure of the government economy. When that is an ideal balance, then things are fine. We can say, chalo, there is a proper fiscal deficit. The revenue the government is getting, let's say for example, they are getting 100 CR and the expenditure is 200 CR, means then there is a gap of extra 100 crore where the balance of discipline is getting affected. You got the point. Whereas when the government is getting, let's say 100 crore and the expenditure is 110 crore, it's okay. 10 crore at least you can manage to an extent. We can't say 100 crore is a revenue and 100 crore is expenditure. That is really an idealistic perspective. But still for a discipline, more or less it should be equal, or 1 or 2% high can be managed, but not too much of a variation in reality. So now what happens? In reality, if you are not able to maintain a fiscal discipline, what happens? Automatically, very evident, expenditure of the government increases now. What do you say? Yes, it does. Because the revenue you get is not sufficient. And under this condition only, come on, the government is in a big confusion. The fiscal deficit pops up again. Too much of expenditure, less of revenue. They'll start borrowing funds. Or they'll start printing currency from RBI, called as deficit financing. There is a limitation for that. Because that will also in the future lead to too much of inflation, too much of other issues in the economy. You understand? Because it is depreciating the currency and creating inflation, because money supply is increasing now. So now again the RBI will come up with so many instruments or policies or tools to reduce inflation, like repo rate, bank rate, open market operations. Remember, in the monetary policy classes of this series I've taught you. You can start connecting this topic in that perspective as well. So when you start studying by interengaging, guys, it makes you understand the importance of each and every concept of economy with much of ease. Take it. Now, what is fiscal stimulus, guys? We studied what is discipline. So it is important for you to know regarding stimulus also, right? See, now stimulus means when there is too much of spending of the government, or let's say when they are having a tax cut. That's called as fiscal stimulus. Either when the government is doing too much of expenditure, or if they are reducing the tax also. In both the cases, what is the agenda of government? They want to simply increase the economic growth. And in majority of cases, you know what happened? When the government wants to go for a fiscal stimulus strategy or type, they will bail out packages. And there are also few types of fiscal stimulus, I can say. Clear? Just keep these two keywords in mind. This is what is called as fiscal stimulus in simple terms. Revolving these keywords only, for UPSC prelims also questions will be framed. So nothing to worry. This is from the experience over the years, I'm telling you guys, because keywords when you study concepts are also important. Because revolving them only questions can be framed. There's a proper standard for that also. That is why I tell you for the 6 p.m. class, do come in the Unacademy free platform. That will definitely help you in understanding how the questions are framed, what to study from that area and all. Clear? And for that, the code Nisha IAS Live you can use to watch the free class and also to get a discount on the Plus platform. Okay. So now back to class. So this is what you should study regarding all these 4 important concepts. So now we have done a holistic, now we have got a holistic understanding of fiscal consolidation, FRBM Act, fiscal discipline, fiscal stimulus. Bas, okay. Now let's quickly have a look into the previous year questions, okay, and the mock questions which you can get from this particular area. Which of the following statements best describe fiscal consolidation? Quickly give the right answer. Do you think option number A, B, C or D? Strategy of government to disinvest, policies undertaken by government, schedule bank's action and government agenda. Wonderful. The answer is option number B. Yes, I could see a lot of people putting the message in the chat box. Very good. It is nothing but the policies which is taken by the government just because they want to reduce their deficit. Simple logic. That's what we have been discussing, right? So the answer is option number B. Because no other statement has a keyword called as policies taken by the government. So applying the technique of keyword elimination comparison, which I have taught you in the Unacademy free class, it's very easy for you to understand this. To know more about this KZ technique again, you have to come for the Unacademy free class, guys, because there I teach you what is this. Now, the next one. Consider the following statements with reference to the Union Budget 2021, last year's. The estimated fiscal deficit is 3.5% of GDP. The estimated revenue deficit is 2.7%. And estimated primary is 0.4%. So fiscal deficit, revenue deficit, primary deficit, all these concepts also be covered, right? So think and give the right answer. You have only 3 options. I didn't give you 4 options. So think, which means option number 3 may or may not be correct because the options are also given like that, And yes, the answer is option number what? It is C, which means that all the above 1, 2, 3 sub-questions, they are correct with regard to what? The budget of 2021 with regard to your fiscal deficit or revenue or even primary deficit. Now, you have a question, guys. If you see in the 2019 UPSC mains examination from economy, there was a question based on fiscal consolidation. Take care. That is why I have taken this topic today. What is fiscal consolidation? What steps has the government taken in recent times in India to practice it? Discuss. Very, very important. So now when few topics are coming for you under fundamentals, people have a notion that what is taxation, what is indirect tax, what is direct tax. Studying that is the basics or let's say the fundamentals of economy. It's absolutely bullshit. It is definitely not like that. As far as a UPSC student is concerned, based on the previous year questions, what are the topics coming under each of these broad headings with regard to current affairs? Pick those topics and study. Because if you see in the basics or let's say fundamentals, these kind of topics actually do not come. They come in the current affairs perspective. But still we have to understand this because the questions are asked for you in the examination based on this. That is why under the so-called broad headings of fiscal policy or monetary policy, I am teaching in this pattern. I hope all of you is liking this way of interlinkaging, which is pertaining highly to a UPSC prelims and mains examination because this is going to benefit you, right? So make sure that you're also studying the same interlinkaging pattern. So thank you so much, my students. And don't forget to like, share, and also put your valuable feedbacks in the comment box. And also you can go for the subscription, guys, till June 30th. You have the offer going on, 25% discount for the GS along with options, totally 35% discount, and also another 10% you'll get using my code Nisha IAS Live. Okay, so there are multiple benefits you will get. So don't forget to subscribe. And you can even go for the loan option. The link is given in the description box. That also you get a discount. So there are multiple ways like that. Clear? So make the best out of it and make sure that you're studying in a systematic manner. So any doubts, queries or whatever, feel free to put your feedbacks in the comment box. Thank you and see you tomorrow at the same time, 7 p.m. with another set of amazing topics based on fiscal policy itself. Thank you and Jai Hind.